Tonight, several developing stories as we come to the air. The major turn in the case of fired National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Tonight, both the Democrat and the Republican leading the House committee on whether Flynn broke the law. Ivanka Trump's rough reception, her first major foreign trip. How the audience responds when she says her father is a champion of families.
Hear the reaction from the audience.
The deadly highway inferno. At least 2 big rigs and several cars collide, going up in flames. Pictures coming in tonight from the scene. Did police go too far? 5 young boys coming home from a game detained at gunpoint, one crying in fear. The plane crash, the pilot killed the son who crawls out. And the new warning tonight about certain products that claim they prevent cancer.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. And President Trump, as he approaches that 100-day mark tonight, the major headline involving one of his first picks, the National Security Advisor, who did not last long in the job. Tonight, strong words from the Republican and Democratic leaders of the House Oversight Committee after being briefed on classified documents, saying they see nothing in the records that would lead them to believe that retired General Michael Flynn actually complied with the law when he failed to disclose payments from Russia. And tonight, they want more documents from the White House. This afternoon, the answer from the White House, and ABC's Mary Bruce leading us off.
Tonight, as President Trump approaches day 100, he's forced to deal with what happened on day 24, the firing of his first national security advisor, General Michael Flynn. Today, a turning point, the top Republican and Democrat on the House Oversight Committee emerging in agreement, saying Flynn failed to disclose his business dealings with Russia and likely broke the law.
As a former military officer, you simply cannot take money from Russia, Turkey, or anybody else. And it appears as if he did take that money. It was inappropriate, and there are repercussions for the violation of law.
In 2015, Flynn received $45,000 to appear at this Moscow gala for the Russian propaganda network RT. That's Flynn shaking hands with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Flynn also received more than $500,000 lobbying on behalf of the embattled Turkish government. For that, he was recently forced to register as a foreign agent.
General Flynn had an obligation to proactively seek and obtain permission. It doesn't appear as if he did any.
So you think he broke the law?
I see nothing in those records that would lead me to believe that he actually complied with the law.
Flynn talked a lot about breaking the law during the campaign when it came to Hillary Clinton.
Lock her up. That's right. That's right. Lock her up.
But now, if it's true that Flynn broke the law, he's the one who could face prison time, up to 5 years. Tonight, the White House won't say if any laws were broken, deflecting new questions about whether Flynn was properly vetted.
The White House has refused to provide this committee with a single piece of paper in response to our bipartisan requests, and that's simply unacceptable.
But the White House insists they're not stonewalling.
To ask for every call or contact that a national security advisor made is pretty outlandish, if you will.
So let's bring in Mary Bruce live from Capitol Hill tonight. And Mary, General Flynn had indicated before that he would take an immunity deal in return for his testimony in the Russia probe. And tonight you're now hearing from his lawyer on these latest accusations?
David, in a one-sentence statement, Flynn's lawyer says he did brief the Defense Department extensively on that 2015 trip to Russia. But he didn't go beyond that, and he didn't address the specific charges that Flynn broke the law. David.
All right, Mary Bruce, you'll stay on this. Mary, thank you. In her first overseas trip as presidential advisor, Ivanka Trump getting a rough reception after saying her father is a champion of families, taking part in a summit about women and business at the invitation of German Chancellor Angela Merkel. It was during that moment the moderator asks her, "Did you hear that response from the crowd?" How Ivanka Trump responds. ABC's Lindsay Janis in Berlin.
Hello. How are you?
Ivanka Trump stepping out onto the world stage. The president's most trusted sidekick on her first official trip abroad as an assistant to the president. The former corporate executive joined German Chancellor Angela Merkel and other female leaders at a women's summit in Berlin.
Who are you representing? Your father is the president of the United States, the American people, or your business? Well, certainly not the latter, and I am rather unfamiliar with this role as well, as it is quite new to me.
Where she spoke about her signature issues, affordable childcare, and paid family leave. But after calling her father a champion of families, the crowd's response, audible.
He's been a tremendous champion of supporting families and enabling them to thrive in the new reality of...
You had to hear the reaction from the audience.
I've certainly heard the criticism from the media, and that's been perpetuated. But I know from personal experience, and I think the thousands of women who have worked with and for my father for decades when he was in the private sector are a testament to his belief and solid conviction in the potential of women and their ability to do the job as well as any man.
She's already joined her father alongside meetings with world leaders and tweeted this photo sitting at the president's desk in the Oval Office. But a new poll revealing only 34% of Americans approve of having Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner in major positions in the administration.
Ivanka! Ivanka! We don't really want you!
On the streets of Berlin, some protested her visit. Others were intrigued.
Ivanka, a very beautiful woman, and I understand a very powerful one.
All I know her for is being like a rich lady in a rich family and having her own business.
Ivanka herself today addressed criticisms that she's too loyal to her father.
I think, I don't like the word accomplice. I think one of the things I value about my father as first a businessman and now as a leader of our country is that he curates ideas and he likes to hear from people with divergent viewpoints.
And Lindsay Janis with us live tonight from Berlin. And Lindsay, Ivanka Trump pushing back on a British newspaper report quoting her brother Eric Trump, who says she was the one who influenced her father's decision for that strike on Syria. What's her response?
David, she called that a flawed interpretation. She says while she did share her feelings on that horrific chemical attack with her father, ultimately his decision to act was made with advice from the highest levels of government. David?
Lindsay Janis live in Germany for us. Lindsay, thank you. And as we approach that 100-day mark for President Trump, the other major countdown tonight, 3 days until the government runs out of money. And tonight it appears there has been major movement. Is President Trump now willing to put funding for the wall on the Mexican border on hold, at least for now? ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl tonight.
President Trump today insisted he is not backing down from his #1 campaign promise.
The wall's going to get built, folks. Just in case anybody has any question, the wall's going to get built.
But it's not going to get built right away.
Who's going to pay for the wall?
Mexico says they won't pay. And now the president is backing down on his demand that Congress start paying for the wall now. It's part of his effort to cut a deal with Democrats to avert a government shutdown.
It's really good news that the president seems to be taking the wall off the table in the negotiations we're having.
So the president is not insisting that he has money for actual construction of the wall.
Look, I'm not going to get there's. We're still in discussions with the House and Senate leadership, but I think the president's been very clear that he wants a wall. He wants it done as soon as we can do it.
In fact, White House negotiators are now willing to accept they won't get any money to pay for wall construction until October at the earliest.
But the actual construction can wait until the fall.
No, it's not a question of wait until the fall. I think there's a lot of things that have to happen. It's like any construction.
Before you can start construction.
Well, you've got to start doing some planning and things. And so we will take the first steps now, and then we will continue to seek funding through the FY18 and further budget to make sure that the actual it is completed.
Expect a big fight in the fall. Getting Democrats to agree to money for the wall will be just as hard then as it is now.
John Karl with us live tonight as well. And John, it's not just the wall that appears to be on hold tonight. You've got news on that federal judge now blocking another part of the president's key immigration policies.
David, a federal judge in San Francisco has blocked a key provision of a Trump executive order to deny federal funds to so-called sanctuary cities. Those are cities that refuse to fully enforce federal immigration laws. The judge said that denying those funds on such short notice would cause irreparable harm to those cities.
All right, John Karl tonight. John, thank you. Tensions on America's northern border also tonight. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau now speaking out about new U.S. tariffs announced today. The Trump administration imposing duties up to 24% on soft wood imported from Canada, claiming they are unfairly priced. Tonight, Prime Minister Trudeau warning the, quote, thickening of the border hurts people in both countries, including American home buyers who will pay more for wood. And there are new tensions with North Korea tonight, that country marking the anniversary of its army with massive live-fire artillery drills. Authorities believe that some of that fire could be able to reach the South Korean capital. Meantime, a U.S. Navy submarine tonight equipped with guided missiles is now in port off the Korean peninsula. President Trump inviting the entire Senate now to the White House for a briefing. That's tomorrow. Back here at home tonight into a horrific and deadly crash on one of LA's busiest freeways. 3 big rigs and several other vehicles colliding, then bursting into flames. The 5 freeway halted for miles, drivers stuck witnessing the entire thing. ABC's Kana Whitworth tonight from the scene.
Tonight, a fiery collision along one of the busiest freeways in Los Angeles. 6 vehicles, including 3 semis, sparking an inferno.
Big rig has gone through the center divider and is on fire on the southbound side.
Cars pinned underneath that big rig.
The Camry is underneath the semi-truck.
Authorities say at least 1 man was killed, 10 others injured, including a 27-year-old woman who's critical.
They're still trying to put it out.
For hours, drivers on both sides of the freeway at a standstill.
As we start closing things off, start collecting our evidence, we will then determine where the vehicles were driving, approximately how fast, and then what caused the collision.
David, tonight this investigation is ongoing. The big question for authorities is what caused that semi to jump the center divider, crashing right into oncoming traffic. David?
Kana, thank you. Next tonight here, new images from that United Airlines flight, the passenger dragged out of his seat, and perhaps a new perspective after that passenger was dragged from the seat, and for the first time tonight, what the officers who pulled him off the plane had to say about how he was injured. ABC's Lindsay Davis with the video.
New video tonight that shows Dr. David Dow and his wife boarding that now infamous United flight. Less than 2 minutes later, his wife runs off, then back on again. The reason is unclear. Then this call to police.
The airline overbooked the flight, and they need 2 passengers to get off, and they're refusing.
Dow was dragged off after refusing an offer of an $800 voucher to turn over seats to a United crew that is later seen boarding the flight. But the newly released police report appears to blame Dr. Dow for his own injuries, saying an aggressive, physically abusive Dow lost his balance and smashed into the armrest when he knocked the officer's arm away. Dow's lawyer calls that nonsense, saying his client lost 2 teeth, had his nose broken, and suffered a concussion. After being dragged from the plane, a bloody Dow runs back in, but is eventually taken to an awaiting ambulance.
How is Dr. Dow?
He's hurt.
No plans for legal action.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's getting ready.
United has promised to release the results of an internal review and the actions it will take by the end of this weekend. David?
Lindsay Davis with us tonight. Lindsay, thank you. Next to the weather tonight, rivers flooding their banks in the Carolinas at this hour. Heavy rain now moving into Washington, D.C., New York City, and Boston. Drone images of Raleigh underwater, rivers still rising there. This woman escaping through the driver's side window, and rushing waters destroying this bridge in western Virginia. So let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano. He's been tracking this for us since last night here. Rob, what do you got?
Hey, David, the rain and the wind, for that matter, has picked up here in New York City, but the center of this storm is all the way down in Virginia still. Take a look at this huge rain shield, and those streamlines really indicating the strong onshore winds that are cranking in. D.C., Philly, your rain will end tonight, but by tomorrow morning, still raining for the morning commute in New York, and then ongoing through New England throughout the day tomorrow. Tonight, we have severe weather from OKC all the way up to Kansas City. Tomorrow, that zone expands, and we're looking from Shreveport to St. Louis. Winds, hail, tornadoes all in play, and an even larger system potentially Friday and Saturday as we continue a very active pattern this week. David?
Rob Marciano with us again tonight. Thank you, Rob. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Tuesday. The new FDA warning about certain products that claim to prevent cancer. We'll have that report coming up. Also, the police confrontation. 5 young boys coming home from a game, questioned at gunpoint, one crying in fear. Tonight, many asking, did police go too far? The deadly police chase, 2 dangerous suspects racing through an American city, the chase ending in gunfire. We do have news tonight about the suspects. At a fiery plane crash, the pilot killed his son crawling out of the plane. We'll be right back.
Look closely. Hidden in every swing, every chip, and every putt is data that can make the difference between winning and losing. The Microsoft Cloud helps the PGA Tour turn countless points of data into insights that transform their business and will enhance the game for players and fans.
The Microsoft Cloud turns information into insight.
Break through your allergies. Try new Flonase Sensimist instead of allergy pills. It delivers a gentle mist to help block 6 key inflammatory substances. Most allergy pills only block 1. New Flonase Sensimist.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night.
Hold on, Dad. Liberty did what?
Yeah, Liberty Mutual 24-hour roadside assistance helped him to fix his flat so he could get home safely.
My dad says our insurance doesn't have that. Don't worry, I know what a lug wrench is, Dad. Is this a lug wrench?
Maybe.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty